What is the difference between astronomy viewing and deep sky imaging? Have you ever looked up at the night sky and wondered about the stars and galaxies? If so, you might be curious about how we observe these celestial wonders. There are two main ways people engage with the universe: astronomy viewing and deep sky imaging. Let's break down what sets them apart. Astronomy viewing, also known as visual observing, is all about looking at celestial objects directly. This can be done through a telescope or even with binoculars. When you engage in astronomy viewing, you get to see planets, stars, the moon, and some brighter deep sky objects like star clusters and nebulae in real time. The experience is immediate and depends on your eyesight and the weather conditions. You typically need less specialized equipment for this method, making it accessible for many enthusiasts. On the other hand, deep sky imaging is a photographic technique. This method aims to capture detailed images of faint and distant celestial objects such as galaxies, nebulae, and star clusters. These objects are often invisible or barely visible to the naked. To achieve this, photographers use cameras attached to telescopes and take long exposure shots. This means the camera collects light over several minutes or even hours. The goal is to reveal fine details and colors that you cannot see with just your eyes. Now let's look at some key differences. First, when it comes to brightness and targets, astronomy viewing is great for bright objects like planets and the moon. In contrast, deep sky imaging focuses on faint objects that requiring long exposures to gather enough light. Next, consider the equipment. For visual observing, you typically use telescopes with eyepieces. Deep sky imaging, however, requires specialized cameras, often cooled to reduce noise, and motorized mounts to track celestial movements accurately. Another important difference is exposure time. With astronomy viewing, you see everything instantly. But in deep sky imaging, exposures can last from several seconds to many minutes. Sometimes, multiple images are combined to improve quality. Focal length and magnification also vary. For planetary viewing, telescopes with long focal lengths are common to magnify small, bright objects. In deep sky imaging, shorter focal lengths or fast optics are often used to capture wider fields and gather light more quickly. Lastly, both methods are influenced by atmospheric conditions, but imaging is more sensitive to turbulence. Long exposures can blur details if the atmosphere is unstable, making conditions critical for successful imaging. Understanding these differences is important, especially when considering support for public astronomy programs or educational outreach. Astronomy viewing offers an accessible way for the public to engage with science, while deep sky imaging contributes significantly to our knowledge of the universe. Both approaches can inspire interest in science and technology, making them essential for educational initiatives.